Hello, Desiree here with Soul Path Astrology and this week's Astro Energy Report and three-card tarot spread. Welcome to the channel. If you are new here, it is such a pleasure to have you join us. Quick little down low on how it works. I will do the Astro Weather Report. Then we're going to do a quick meditation. There'll be an opportunity for you to select from one, two, or three cards. Then there will be timestamps that you can fast forward to them or listen to all three or listen to them in whatever order appeals and resides well with you inside your inner GPS unit. And at the very end, there's usually a nugget of love to take with you as the week progresses. If you're coming back, hello, my beautiful friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's always so lovely to have you and your energy in the collective field here. Yeah, this week. So let's just jump right in. This is going to be a pretty quick video, or hopefully a quick video, and I don't go off on too much of a tangent. There's some really interesting energy going on. There's some push-pull energy going on. There's kind of a sense of urgency about needing and wanting to move forward, and yet there's a little bit of energy that's like calling you back home or to reconnect or revisit some things. And also, and I'll get into the details of it, some clarity that's going to arrive. We are in the last few weeks of December, obviously. We are in the last final push of the snake year of the snake. We're going to be moving into the fire horse. You've probably been hearing this everywhere if you follow astrology channels. The year of the fire horse starts in February of next year. So we still have a few weeks here left to wrap up the year of the snake. This has been a year of shedding what no longer serves us, of outgrowing what's not serving us, and of really going deep. There's sort of a scorpionic type energy with this year of going deep into our subconscious, into those places we've been avoiding, into some of our deepest fears, our oldest karmic patterns. All of this is coming up to be healed, to be integrated, to be released, to be learned from, to alchemize it into a gift and something useful moving forward. So today, December 9th, Mars square Saturn. This can be anger wants to come with Mars squaring Saturn. There's definitely a powerful moving energy around that. Squares are work. It's a dynamic and aspect that the fruit is extracted through tension and through conflict. And so Mars squaring Saturn, there is this like energy of where do you want to put your Mars energy, your forward energy? Where do you have some anger? Because our anger is a beautiful check engine light showing us where we have a no we need to express. Right. Now, whether that's I'm mad at myself because I have allowed somebody to systematically run over my boundaries and I haven't just met my own boundaries. Maybe it's a no around overgiving. Maybe this time of year, it can be overwhelmingly challenging. It's maybe the most fruitful time of the year to practice going within and asserting for yourself, what do I actually have energy for? What am I doing that's performative versus authentic and genuine? And where can I maybe give a little bit more than what I really want to, but it still doesn't feel like I'm self-abandoning to do it. This is a year, the time of year where we're going to stretch out of our comfort zone with visiting and with gift giving and with socializing and all of those things. And it's important that you don't overgive because a real gift comes from your overflow. It doesn't come from your empty cup. And even though it might be in many ways the hardest time of year to say no, it's also the one with the most opportunities to practice it. And so today, maybe you're feeling that. Maybe there's some invitations that are coming on your plate that you have to really seriously consider if they're going to be a no, or maybe they're a yes, but you create some provisions for yourself so that you don't overtax yourself with time or energy or money expenditures on it. I just really want to invite us to check in with what you really have available and what you're really honestly willing to give and what you need to receive, right? Because sometimes asking for what we need is the hard part. So there we've got Mars squaring Saturn. Tomorrow, Neptune stationing direct in Pisces. It's been retrograde in Pisces, and that's been maybe there's been some things you just haven't had clarity around, like lots of illusions, lots of clouded thinking, lots of like hidden things that you think it's one thing and then it turns out it's another. And you've just been doing your best to show up for them, but it's like it seems like it's sand, and it's slipping out or it's ice and it's your boots are slipping on it. And so now it's stationing direct. When Neptune starts to go direct, it's going to eventually be moving its way into Aries next year. I believe it's February that it moves forward there too. And that's really marking that forward fire horse energy. And so this is, if there's been something you've been unclear about, is probably going to start to gain some clarity now that it's stationing direct. Pisces, wherever this falls into your house. This is going to depend on your birth time, where Pisces falls in your chart, rather, whatever house it falls into in your chart. That's the area that this is falling into. So here we're finally gaining some forward clarity, some momentum, some understanding about what needs to go, what needs to stay, about our patterns that we have in that particular area of our life. Maybe it's your daily health. Maybe it's how you show up in the world. Maybe it's your relationships. Maybe it's your money story. Maybe it's your self concept. This is going to depend on your birth time. If you want a reading, you know where to find me. The link is below. It's so valuable, you guys, to understand your chart enough to know what houses this stuff is falling in, because that's the area of your unique life. Like, these are general readings, but where this energy is going to fall into your chart is likely the area of your life that's going to be personally getting affected. So thankfully, it's moving direct. This is a final wrap up of something that's been going on for a long time. It's going, if you allow it, if you do your work, we get to shed what needs to be shed. We get to welcome in the gifts and the learning that's available from it and really up level. Like, we're going to graduate here. This is what we're moving into, is like a graduation of whatever area of that life is, of your life, into a higher, healthier, better octave. Now, this doesn't just happen. It requires your work. It requires your participation, which is why knowing where it's happening can help you, if that makes sense, because now you're not just going in blind, right? What else do we have here? Oh, so yeah, there'll be clarity, I guess, is what I'm trying to say around that. Like, that area of your life, you're going to get some clarity about what's next for you, what's most important, and how you can best show up for it. Mercury and Scorpio opposing Uranus. This is also tomorrow. So Uranus is retrograde in Taurus. Expect, with Mercury in Scorpio, expect some unexpected stuff. Uranus is all about unexpected. Being in Taurus, this is like, maybe this is about your money. Maybe this is about your health. These are Taurian type things. Maybe it's about your housing. I know it sounds so cheap. Expect the unexpected, but there might be something, a surprise, and it might be positive. It seems like people often attribute it being a negative surprise, but it's not. Sometimes it's a positive surprise. Sometimes it's a totally unexpected windfall. Maybe it's a job offer you weren't expecting. Maybe it's a diagnosis that's so much better than you were anticipating, right? Like, sometimes it can be better than what you think. So that might happen today. December 11th, Venus and Sagittarius trining North and South Node. So North Node, South Node, Venus. I love Venus. She just brings in all the goods. This is the art, the love, the creativity, the nourishingness, the mother energy. And I just really want to recommend this opportunity to take some time to connect with your North Node self, your future self, your soul's path. What direction does it want to go into? Bring some love into it. Really give yourself permission to play pretend and imagine that you can connect to the future version of you and start to reside in that energetic signature. Like, this future you, who does he or she hang out with? What kind of thoughts do you think? What kind of feelings do you often reside in? What do you wear? Where are you hanging out? What kind of smells do you smell? Like, really make it come alive and take whatever baby steps that you can today, or this whole week, right, of doing this nurturing. There is a baby coming, a figurative baby or a literal baby, but this energy of gestation, of this future you, present you, and future you are making a baby. And so, like, really create a nursery inside you, an energetic nursery for whatever this beautiful creation is going to be that's wanting to come online. practice this really cool a quantum practice of connecting with your future self and aligning with that today. And it is so much fun to take even just little tiny baby steps. Maybe you get the URL for this website that of this business you want to build. Maybe you buy yourself, I don't know, instead of hiking boots because you envision yourself as this world hiker, or like just do whatever you can that feels like you're aligning with yourself, that you're playing pretend, that you're engaging in this childlike play pretend, infinite possibilities, open learner mind, like connect with her. Welcome in what South Node, what you already know, what you're already good at, what you've already practiced, but don't get fixated on what you're comfortable with, or find what you're comfortable with and find a whole new way to direct it, something you've never done before. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. So there's your astro weather. Let's do the meditation. And my puppy, who's in her kennel right now, is just like making a racket. So I'm going to do my best to just settle into the space together. This is so real life, isn't it? When we need to take our pauses in the midst of reality, and reality doesn't always line up with making it easy to take these pauses, but it's so important to take them. So coming to your breath, arriving in the space right now with you, with your breath and with your body. Breathing in, breathing out. Creating coherence between your head and your heart, between your breath and your body. Arriving in this unique moment of time and space. Feeling into the center of your heart. Imagining it there, a warm fire crackling away. Maybe you can smell the pine and that crisp, cool air. The smell of fire logs burning. And maybe there's something delicious cooking in the backdrop. Arriving to this warm, safe, cozy place in the center of your heart. Looking out the window, the snow is falling, and there's that quiet, that banked sound of a fresh snowfall. It sounds like you're in a soundproof booth. Mm. In that stillness and in that warmth and in that safety, there is a wisdom. There's a version of you that is ready to arrive, to gather you in his or her arms, grab your hand, and take you off into this most beautiful place that you've been longing to build, longing to serve, longing to pour yourself into. Excited and full of possibility, you set off out the door, hand in hand with your future self, down the path, into the woods, over the mountaintop, and then you open up into a vista looking down into a valley. And what do you see there? What are you feeling? And when you turn and you look to your future self, and you say, "Hey, what is the gift you have for me?" And he or she reaches into a satchel and pulls out what? Handing that to you. And maybe it's a thing, maybe it's a word, maybe it's a color, maybe it's none of these to you. Maybe you have no idea what I'm talking about, and that's perfectly okay too. But arriving in this moment with this gift, we're not. I invite you to gather all of this energy, all of the warmth, all of the possibilities, all of that kid on Christmas morning feelings, and just wrap it all up, pouring it back into your heart and coming forth into the world with that. Breathing life into that. Getting giddy with excitement about whatever that gift is. And you know it'll unwrap itself when the time is right. And until then, I welcome you back to the fireplace, back to the warmth, back to your body, and back to your breath. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Well, Christmas time meditation. Okay, here's our 3 cards. Card 1, card 2, card 3. Card 1, if this was your selection, Queen of Cups. So she's all about gestating. She's the mother, the great mother. This is your feelings, recognizing the value of your feelings, that it's just so important to allow them to color our reality. It's one thing to think about it. It's another thing to feel about it. And that's the invitation. That heart-mind cohesion or coherence comes from when the thought holds the frame and the heart fills with emotion. And really giving yourself permission to play dress up and be that person. So the Queen of Cups, it is the divine creative force, divine energy. There's a beautiful maternal kind of nurturance here. And so, what is your dream? What baby is within you that wants to come forward, that you need to nurture and nourish right now? Maybe there's some compassion or some healing coming in. Maybe you're healing the mother wound. Maybe you're playing the role for someone to heal the mother wound within themselves. What does it mean to be nurtured and nourished? And what is your relationship to it? To love, to mothering, to nurturing? Is it something that feels smothering? Is it something that feels supportive? Now, these are questions to journal about. Do some inner spelunking. See how that feels. Generally, this is a warm and cozy card. It's a positive, nourishing card. And so may it be that for you. And if it's not, then do some inner exploring and find out what it is for you, because it's all about what's for you. This is always about where's the medicine for you, your specific medicine that resides within your heart. Yeah, I hope that landed. If you want a reading, you know where to find me. The link's always below. Okay, let's do card number 2. Card 2. The moon. Our instincts, our intuition. Sometimes this shows up in readings when there's something hidden. Sometimes this is an invitation to do some shadow work. Sometimes it's somebody's talking shit about you, but that's none of your business, so don't worry about it. When the moon card arrives, it's like, what is your intuition telling you? What part of you have you been running from, maybe? What part of you have you been stuffing into the background? That the light of the moon, because it's not as bright as the sun, it's easier for us to have a look at ourselves when it's a softer, more subdued light. And the moon is our subconscious. Again, it's that feminine energy. In fact, all 3 cards are very feminine in energy signature this week, which is, let yourself be informed by your emotions. Let yourself be informed by your intuition. Let yourself tap into your witchy nature, into that earthy wisdom that comes from nature, from cycles, from your belly, from your womb. Like, this is instinct, our wild woman nature, our wild wolf nature. Where is that? What deep wisdom is encoded in your DNA that the light of the moon is beginning to shine upon? And can you spend some time journaling about that? Maybe you want to explore it with a friend. Maybe you'd like to explore it in community. By all means, write down in the comments section if there's something that's coming up for you. I love hearing about it. Trust your instincts. This is really hone your instincts. Maybe you want to take a course on intuitive reading, on connecting to the clairs. clairaudience, clairvoyance, that kind of thing, on psychic abilities, on any of those like mystery arts. Yeah. Okay. Finally, last but not least, card number three, the Six of Cups. So, cups, more feelings, more feminine. This is nostalgia. This is our childhood dreams. This is what I was talking about. It's Mr. Dressup is a Canadian TV show, and it's way back there. So if you're in my age bracket and you grew up here, you'll know about Mr. Dressup and his tickle trunk that was full of costumes. And if this was your card, there's this invitation to nostalgia, to play. What was that dream in your heart? What costume could you put on if you're playing dress up? If you were a little girl or little boy again, like what would you want to play pretend and dress up as? Can you imagine a way of bringing that forward into the world now in a tangible, real way? Can you revisit some of your warmest feelings, your warmest past experiences? Maybe I mean, it's the season for it anyways. Family might be coming. You might be sharing past memories, past stories, but may they be joy filled. There's a warmth with the cups, the Six of Cups. These are positive memories. This is can be a beautiful counterpoint when we're doing the shadow work, to remember the gift, to remember the positive stuff as well as the more challenging stuff, and to invite it all to the table, invite it all to the fireside. Your past, your present, and your future. Welcome it all to the fireside of your heart. Okay, we're going to wrap it up. I promise this would be short. It's shortish. Final thought for the day, final thought for the week. Honor your natural energy this week. I just really want to invite you into pausing as often as you need to, play as often as you feel called to. In this busy holiday season, it is just so important to create those pauses and those playful moments to refill your cup and to check in. Like, really love yourself enough to check in frequently. How am I doing? How am I doing? Is this a one of those times where I need to push a little bit, or do I need to pull back? And check in and do your best to honor it. You're not going to get it perfect. You're not. And that's okay. Be gracious with yourself, but take the time to check in as much as you can and honor what you receive for information from that check in as much as you can. It won't be perfect. It won't be every time. But every time you do, builds your own self trust and your own bank account of flexibility. Like, the more times that you can actually show up for what you actually have available, it makes it easier when you do have to stretch a little bit, when you've got to use credit, if you will, to extend yourself. It makes it easier if you have a long history of actually meeting yourself with the ends that you have, with the means that you have, like whether that's energetic, financial, emotional, spiritual, like meeting yourself where you are as often as you can in a realistic way is just going to be so nourishing this week, this month, the balance of this month. Yeah. And I just keep give yourself permission to screw up. Give yourself permission to not get it right every time. Just, just get up again. Just try again. There's always next time, one day at a time. Okay. Mwah. Love you guys. I hope that landed. Let me know, share, spread the love, subscribe if you haven't. And until then, we'll see you next Tuesday. Bye for now.